I've been asked to briefly touch on the challenges and opportunities from a council perspective, so I cut my 2-day speech down to 5 minutes for you. So. Most people in this room have been involved in or are aware of the many years of work done by key organisations to build an understanding around the social, cultural, educational, health and other characteristics of our community and what is required to advance the lives of our residents. The Lighthouse project clearly defines this, and Greater Shepparton City Council's policies reflect and articulate similar goals. No doubt most organisations represented here today are all working along the same lines. Over many years, this community has built strong partnerships and relationships, both informal and around more formalised structures. One of the greatest strengths we have is our willingness to work together, and that presents enormous opportunity. It means we are able to be organised, purposeful and targeted in our strategies, and therefore be effective in achieving important milestones as we move this community forward. We as a collective have the understanding, we have the strategies and we have the programs. We can point to success and the wonderful work being done in this community right now. A significant challenge, as always, is to have sufficient resources to deliver what is required, and you will all be familiar with that. Council is no different, and I would like to give you a brief snapshot of a council perspective around that challenge. Council understands that it is in a unique position to take a leadership role in this sphere. As a result, there are already established council communities which bring together key people and organisations on a regular basis to increase the capacity to work in partnership, to share information, to avoid duplication of programs and to increase the likelihood that finances will be used in the most effective way. There are council committees for early childhood, for health, for youth, for tertiary education, positive ageing and disability, and all are involved with addressing disadvantage. An ongoing and major challenge for council is to have sufficient finances to deliver required programs and to justify the amount of rate funds we collect. Our expenditure also includes grants from state and federal governments, and this expenditure must also be done in accordance with guidelines. Council operates in a political context and nearly everyone has an opinion on what council does or does not deliver. Mostly understandings are around what people can see and to which they relate to in their everyday lives: roads, footpaths, buildings, rubbish collection, parks, etc. People want to see their municipality grow and improve, which costs a great deal of money, but they don't want to lose services. But they do want their rates to be reduced or the rate rises to be based only on a CPI measurement, which is not relevant to what council needs to provide. Many people are unaware of the work council does in facilitating and advancing the social, educational, cultural, physical and mental health of our residents. Because this work is mostly invisible to some extent, it is not seen by the everyday person, and therefore it is much more difficult for councils to promote and justify. However, it is some of our most valuable work. To give a few examples, 2,700 children use our children's services. 36,000 Meals on Wheels are provided. 1,140 people receive home care services. 150 free family activities in parks are organised during the year. And in our 15 maternal and child health centres, there are 250 consultations undertaken each week. And many vulnerable families are assisted and strengthened through these programs. In many cases, councils are required by state and federal governments to implement policies and programs. Government funding is there in the beginning, but it is often reduced over time or withdrawn altogether. The programs then being embedded and valuable usually remain, with ratepayers then having to pick up the cost. The standing of councils, this is a challenge for us. This is often diminished by exaggerated and unfair articles in the media. For example, only this week, The Herald Sun provided their regular dose of council bashing, telling our communities there are greedy councillors, shockingly high rate rises, overpaid staff and far too many services. It makes the task of educating our residents about the importance of the work council does just that much more difficult. And that is a challenge we have to deal with, because an informed and understanding community is likely to be more understanding of the expenditure choices made by council, and they are more focused on problem solving, and they're more likely to celebrate successes. So within this total scenario, I hope that those here today who represent philanthropic organisations are able to see how important you are to assisting this interesting and deserving community to advance and to thrive. Thank you for being here today, and thank you to everyone else as well. On behalf of Greater Shepparton City Council, I congratulate you all on the magnificent work you are doing, and I hope that today becomes a day to be remembered as a positive step forward in our community. Thank you.